Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be planning for the last week of July / first week of August. So I'm just going to flip over. So we're into that last week of July. You can see I kept little bits of notes here and there, but I didn't really utilize my monthly calendar as much this month. Once school begins, I anticipate that will change. So here we are. This is the Poppy for Peace and Remembrance for August. I've actually been sort of on a World War II kick recently, reading about it, watching films about it. So the poppy is very symbolic of that era, and I think that's really interesting. The biggest things that are happening this year are kind of happening in August because honeymoon cruise and my career as an SLP officially begins. I still have no idea what to do with this. I really should figure that out. But so this week I'm going to be using this fantastic kit from StickerGeekDesigns. It's called Then and Now, which is a play, of course, on the film Now and Then. This is a classic. It's really underrated film. I think when people think of films from the 90s that sort of symbolize their childhood, they think of The Sandlot or The Goonies, but those all-star boys. This is a movie that's a lot of girl power, middle school, and the girls are actually my niece's age. So I just love this art, and I decided that summer is the perfect and only time to really use this kit. So StickerGeekDesigns is a non-white space designer kind of kit, so I am going to try and utilize as much of this as possible. So we've got the weekend full boxes, we've got some full boxes here. These are the other full boxes, and as you can see, that art is just fantastic. So this is kind of a wordy kit, but we've got the washi down here with a quote from the film. Then you've got some headers, some all of this great check stuff, which I don't even think I'm going to use because I'll show you in a second. Got a list of check boxes here, 4 weekend trackers, weekly trackers. These are the really cute days of the week. I'm losing my words. And then you've got TV tracker, dinner tracker, regular headers, regular check boxes, some full boxes. I don't even really know what these are. They're like tiny little flags. I'm just not sure. So then there's this extra art that just goes, it's sort of the intent of it is to cover the whole bottom part, and which means, you know, all these extra trackers and stuff that I have disappear. And because I am filming this on the 28th, I'm probably going to utilize this because there's no point in me tracking stuff at this point. So here are some additional quotes and deco from the movie, and I might just utilize the deco like up at the top and keep the quotes for bullet journaling or something like that. So this is a very expansive kit. I am going to take my time with it, and I wish, you know, I could be watching Now and Then while I do this because this is one of my favorite movies, but it's not streaming anywhere. So anyway, I will fast forward now and come back in a voiceover. So thanks for watching. Alright, so this kit came with some headers, which I've only really seen with this company. I know there are lots of other companies that do this. I didn't want to cover up the flower initially, but I think eventually it does get covered up. So I'm just using my X-Acto knife, which I realized later that I cut a little too deeply and it went through to the other side. Oops. So just going ahead and laying these things down. Unfortunately, this kit was just too massive for these. I probably could have taken them down a ½ inch because I didn't have the labels underneath there to use, but So what I end up doing is putting them all down and then just cutting the top so that they're not sticking up. It's not so much about the aesthetic of the chopped off overlay that I mind. It's more that when you have sticky things, other things will stick to them, like cat hair and pieces of paper and things that you don't want stuck to them. So this is me trying to meticulously remove tiny little bits, but it's a little futile. You know, I'm glad I was able to make it work, but I tried using the other end of the ruler to extract them so that I didn't cut myself, but I ended up cutting the paper a little bit in the long run. Whatever, no harm, no foul. So now I'm just putting down this massive washi tape, which actually extends all the way to the end. And as you can tell, I really fought with this not to ruin the paper, because this is like make a commitment paper. So, I mean, ultimately I got it to work, but it wasn't easy. And yeah, so the next decision I had to make was to try and figure out what I wanted to do. And I realized that once I realized it was going to get covered, I opted to at first leave the little July at the bottom. I will eventually cover that up. But it just felt dumb not to use the art. And I wasn't tracking anything anyway, because as I may have mentioned before, I was filming this on Wednesday. So once again, and I think this is just because it's summertime and I don't have that much going on, I've been sort of backtracking a little bit with this stuff. But this is a great piece of art. This is that treehouse that they were saving up to buy for the summer. But yeah, and then there's Dear Johnny's grave in the graveyard next to it. This is such a cool piece of work because I love how they tied in all these different elements from different parts of the movie. It was clearly done by somebody who cared about the film. There was so much amazing sidebar stuff that I just didn't use, like that hydration tracker. But let's see. So now pulling into Monday, I decided to try and do, instead of staggered to-do lists and events, they were clearly separated by that middle bar of full box washi. So I opted for that, and I just didn't need full boxes of checklists all the time. So again, using the X-Acto knife, I just sort of picked what I needed and laid it down at the top there. So on Monday, oh, that is really hard to see. Sorry about that. On Monday, we had to leave Florida and come back to our home. Or not Florida, excuse me. We were in Savannah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sleepy, guys. Savannah was a very cool experience. I highly recommend it for anyone who has not visited. I would love to visit it again sometime. We stayed in the historic part of Savannah for one evening, and it was just a really cool place. Lots of Southern Gothic vibes. I may have been spooked by someone who was either doing their job or an actual ghost. It's hard to tell, but anyway, so on Monday, our whole day was about traveling back and driving, which I did some of the driving. It was really fun. Starting to like driving, you guys. And that was really at the top of our to-do list, was just repack, check out, drive, get home, make sure that our kitty was okay. On Tuesday, I had some vacation laundry to do. I had to place an Amazon order for some things that we needed. We had to get mail, empty the trash, and I had to order a rain jacket for our cruise to Alaska, which is coming up very, very soon. So, looking at these, this was the events section, and I actually got to utilize some of the clip art from the kit, which was great here. Again, we didn't really do too much on Monday, but I decided to sort of time block, as it were. And you can't see what I'm putting in there, but I'm just writing in, we are continuing Peaky Blinders, which is a fantastic show. Very bloody and gruesome, but really well done as a character portrayal and plot-driven episodes. So I'm putting down stickers from Once More with Love, and the flower comes from the kit. The flower is a metaphor that one of the girls' mothers uses to explain puberty, and it's very funny. So I love that that was included. So then on Tuesday, we had nothing to eat in the house. So my job on Tuesday was really to get groceries. I put a quote on the top of Monday because I didn't really utilize anything. It says, "The lesson had taken a lifetime to learn. It's only now looking back that I understand the meaning," which is a little cheesy, but it was Demi Moore recounting her character of learning about friendship and everything. It just happened to fit really perfectly in that space, so I figured, why not? Just go ahead and use it. So for Wednesday, which was the day that I was actually filming this, my sole jobs were to pay our pet sitter. I had an evening Zoom with a friend, worked out, and then I remembered to put in our dinner and sort of TV watching thing. I used a small Coke bottle from the kit. It was a really cute deco. I just think the elements of this were so beautifully done and meticulously chosen. But I was looking for something that I could put for pets, and I picked a Once More with Love. It's a character holding a bunch of kittens. I really could have zoomed in a little bit more. Sorry about that. But so Wednesday I came up with a bunch of other things that I needed. Wednesday morning, I discovered that the Amazon order that I had placed had been misdelivered, and so I ended up using a photograph that Amazon provided when they did the delivery, trying to match doormats, the color of the wall, and a wreath on the door. And I went to probably about 30 apartments before I found it. It was a really hot day, so I did end up finding everything. No thanks to Amazon, by the way. They still have not contacted me about what happened, but needless to say, you know, I got my stuff and my exercise all at the same time. So looking ahead for Thursday, I had a list of things I wanted to do. Some of them I'm just not going to attempt, and some of them I did manage to do. So I had a lot of stuff to do for my new job, like tech stuff, trying to get into my new employee intranet accounts and logging in. I was able to do that, but had a little bit of difficulty navigating that space. And there's just so much there that I have questions about. So I'm in this weird limbo where school has not started, but I have no information about when I'm supposed to, you know, what time I'm supposed to show up, what my day is going to look like. I'm working at 2 different schools, so I have to try and figure out, are there any meetings from those schools that I'm required to attend, and hopefully they won't conflict. And it's just a little complicated. So hopefully we can get all of that straightened out this week. But anyway, my husband gave me some really great Lego flowers for my graduation, which I was finally able to build because the vase that I ordered came in. So I had some fun doing that. And so now I'm just laying down some of my priority to-dos for the weekend. This was a pretty lazy weekend. I did get a lot of work done, sort of prepping for school materials. I got a bunch of really interesting things from Teachers Pay Teachers over the last year that I didn't really utilize because I was doing online therapy, and these were geared more towards in-person. So I kept saying to myself, all right, I'll deal with it when I go, but it never happened. So eventually now I'm just trying to catch up and I will be laminating until forever and again. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna zoom out in just a second so you can see the full picture. But again, this is a lighter week because nothing has started, but I think it came out really, really well. Okay, so here we go. This is the final product. I think it looks really well, really nice. I kept it very simple this week. I don't have a ton of events happening. I don't even know like what my Thursday and Friday during the days are gonna look like, but that's okay because I have tons of extra stickers, and I just sort of took some priorities here. But other than that, everything is just kind of ebbing and flowing. So here we go. I think this came out looking really nicely. The only thing I'm not super crazy about is that these were so big that I couldn't put date numbers. I even pulled them to use them, but I just don't see, they don't really go with the font. It's a mess. So I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. But ultimately, I think this came out really nicely. The pros of these stickers, they are super buttery and easy to write on. They do adhere themselves very quickly to this paper though, so make sure that before you put them down, you've got things lined up exactly where you want them. Anyway, that is this week. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope to see you next time.